Hello, everyone. I forgot that I moved myself to the right-hand side. I was shocked for a second when I was like, where's my camera feed? No, it's over there. It's on the wrong side. I've changed everything about what's going on. It's confusing. So, we're just going to deal with that part. Welcome, Eaglenut. How are things going? How's your week so far? How's your President's Day going? I am on the right side now. I know. I was working on some stuff last stream, and somebody was like, "Hey, you're typing commands in the thing, and it's behind your head, and we can't see it." So I moved myself, and I forgot that I moved myself until just now. So I don't know if I'll move myself back. We'll play with it in this stream. We'll find out. Hey, Holix, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, again, President's Day. I took the day off because I just absolutely adore all U.S. presidents. And wanted to take the day off. That's sure. Let's call it that. But yeah, I took the day off. So, going to, do a bit of an early stream tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna like run this all the way through to my regular stream time, if I'm gonna do 2 streams, do something else. I don't know. I haven't decided that yet, but we'll figure out what we can do now and choose whether or not I'm gonna have a second stream tonight later or not, or if I'm just gonna have one incredibly long stream. Who knows? Coco type for Xcode president. I don't know if you saw the last stream, but I think we're gonna get rid of Xcode. Xcode's old and dated, and we don't need Slack open, so we're gonna definitely close that. Yeah, who needs Xcode? Yeah, if you missed last stream, I am planning on posting it to YouTube pretty soon. But yeah, we got an app building entirely in Emacs, building, running, developing, all of the things. Worked out pretty well. Surprisingly well. That's scary. It's not that scary. Come on, right? You have no idea what Emacs is? Well, you're in luck, because we also got it working in Visual Studio Code, which is apparently needing to verify now. But yeah, we did also get it working in Visual Studio Code. Or if I go and I say run task, build for the simulator. Do I have the simulator open? I don't have the simulator open right now. I think we did not get around to launching the simulator on our own. So let's see if we can launch that manually. That'll bring that open. I don't think the iPhone 15 Pro Max was what we built for, but hey, we'll do that. And then, so do we have this app installed right now? We don't. Oh, here, you know, we need to prove that this is not fake. So we're going to say, go back to VS Code. We're going to go to our content view. We're going to, nope, we're going to go to our no Xcode app. We're going to say, hello, Holix. And we're going to build that for a simulator. And then we're going to install it to the simulator. If we go look at the simulator, boom. Xcode, Schmexcode. But yeah, we have that all working. This is heavily letterboxed because I didn't create a launch storyboard. Because you know what you need open to create storyboards? Xcode. So I didn't create a storyboard file. We do have the ability to do that with the info playlists, and I just didn't bother. I suppose we could do that just to start the stream. What are we doing? Launch, info, plist, something. Specify your app's launch screen. I think we just need it to be completely blank. Yeah, so UI launch screen. Oh, we're doing this in VS Code, right? Yeah, we're need to come back to here. Where's our info plist file? Do we not? Oh, we probably did this all in here. Yeah. Because this was Toist. Yeah, it's not under build Bazel. Oh, it is under build Bazel. You're right. But are we actually using that info plist file? I don't think we are. Because I don't see us referencing it anywhere here. So I think what we need to do, we need to remember how this works in the thing. Because I mean we can try it, but I don't think we're actually using this one. I'll just save that as an empty dictionary. When you said under build.basel, I thought you meant that like we were referencing it inside that file. No, we stopped using build.basel and I just never threw away any of the stuff. Yeah, I think we need to do it from within here. I just need to remember how we reference things. Yeah. We're going to go back to Emacs for this because I know how to navigate things a lot easier here. No, hang on. Info plist is part of the target. It's before sources. And then it's like extending default. Why is target not in here? See, target reference, target script, but not an actual target. Oh, well, I don't know how I've ended up here. Info plist is extending default width. Okay, so let's go. Oh yeah, let's go back to VS Code. Extending default width. And then we give ourselves this. And then we're going to say this is a UI launch screen. Let's give it just an empty dictionary for now. And then we need to rerun Toist generate, which is also something, well, let's do that from in-terminal. I have ways of doing this all in Emacs, and I'm like trying to avoid hopping over there because I'm like, oh yeah, we don't actually need Emacs. Oh yeah, we don't need to open Xcode either. But let's see if that was enough to do anything. Hey, there we go. Now it's nice and full screen. So yeah, there you go. That's enough to make that work. Yeah, we definitely don't need Xcode. Come on. So anyway, that being said, now I'm going to go back to Xcode. But we have proven out that we don't actually need to use Xcode. So I would like to clean this up at some point, and I guess there's not really all that much in here that's interesting, except for maybe the launch.json and test.json. I need to like write up a blog post on everything that I did to make this work, but I definitely need to get rid of all the Bazel related stuff because it turned out that that was not necessary. And in fact, counterproductive. That I think we can do this with just Toist and a couple scripts. And yeah. But anyway, back to Xcode. What are we working on today? I am going back to working on Kineo, my drawing and animation app for Vision Pro. And what I want to do today is I want to improve the experience that we have with exporting 3D video. Because we got some work done there, but not everything that I want to do. And I want the ability to kind of like test this in real time. So we're gonna take a look at what we can do in terms of maybe enhancing the player that we currently have. So let's run this on the simulator for a minute. Build only device cannot be used to run this target. Sorry, simulator. We're gonna run this in the simulator, and then I'm gonna show what we have right now in terms of playback, because I think this might also fix a different bug that we have in the current player. But then what I would like to do is we have a file, video export 3D, that renders this all to a video file. Renders this all to a file. Let's list that line there. Exports this all to a file. And what I would like to do instead of exporting to a file is export to just a video stream. And what we do with that video stream is we just like play it back live. That's what I would like to be able to do. And I think that that would allow for us to test things a little bit easier. Do I not have my test animation in the gallery? Okay, so we're gonna have to go find that. Yeah, just crash. What happened? Didn't crash. Just the window just disappeared. Yeah, so first of all, let's go find our sample animation so that we actually have something to test with. But yeah, then I think what we're going to try to do is we're going to get a animation stream going. Why will this not quit? Okay. So, first off, we need to figure out where our location actually is. I think we had something in file document store. At one point we used to have a stored documents. Yeah, this right here. We had a breakpoint that we could turn on and off that would just print out. Donuts, welcome. I was gonna say, Mono's up early. Hey, long time no see, Donuts. How's it been going? Busy but going well. Nice. That's good. All right, let's try running this again, and we'll see what we can get out of there. I probably should have printed like actual text there so that I could search for it more easily, but oh well. Here we go. This is what we're looking for. This is where our document store is. Stumbled on the black magic of preprocessor directives. You think it's going to save you some time? Not in Swift. Wait, well, hang on. Which preprocessor directives? Because Swift doesn't really technically have a preprocessor. Copy those in there. And then, now if I go back to the simulator and I go to my gallery, we should have our test animation, which is still missing this one page, and I need to fix that. Preprocessor arguments? Are you talking about the whole hash if whatever stuff? Hash if debug blah blah blah. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. They're like preprocessor arguments. Swift has a different name for them. Swift hash if. Compiler directives. Yeah. So they're called compiler directives because they're not really a preprocessor in the same way that the C preprocessor is. Because the C preprocessor like actually rewrites the code. Hence preprocessing. Like it actually rewrites the code, whereas this is just a thing that's a feature of the Swift compiler. And they're a little bit more limited than what you get in C and Objective-C. And so that's kind of what I was like, I'm curious as to what powerful things that you're thinking might save you some time. Because my experience has been this has been pretty limited in Swift. Either way, it's going to be helpful. Yeah, that was all I was worried about. Is like, man, I remember what these were capable of in Objective-C, and they're not as capable in Swift. Anyway, let's get back to this. So, did we delete our one screwed up page? I think we did. So yeah, let's go back in and show what the current player looks like and what we're going to be attempting to replace, if for nothing else, as a test. And then we can swap back in the original one. So gallery, nope, not gallery. Just kidding. Share. So here's the page here. We've got a dependency library that won't build on simulator ARM, which is breaking your previews, but you can ignore the library when running previews because it's not that important. So this is what we're trying to do. Switch this to bounds. There we go. Looks a lot nicer in bounds. Yeah, this is the page that we're attempting to replace. For one thing, you can see that it, for whatever reason, it like zooms in and it crops the outside. But if we like exported this, it won't work because it's a simulator. Just kidding. If we export it, we do see the whole thing. And I'm not entirely sure what that is. That's a bug. But either way, I think what we want to try to do is we want to try to have this not be a thing that we're drawing, but rather a stream of video. That's what we want that to be. Just wanted to hop on and say hi. Yeah, thanks for coming and hanging out. Hope to see you again. You're not still streaming, are you? Right? I haven't seen you online in a while, streaming. All right, so what are we gonna do here? We have our playback player. Okay. Okay, did we make playback a different... Yeah, we made playback a different library entirely. So I think what we need to do is we need to basically just swap that out, I think. Because we've got the player here. The player here is doing a bunch of different stuff. So yeah, let's take player and turn it into like canvas player. And then we'll create a new stream player, and then we'll flip back and forth which one we're able to show at any given point. Let's do that. I think that's a good idea. New file. I don't think I did that right. So file. There we go. Canvas player. And then, yeah, we're going to basically copy the bulk of player into canvas player. And by the bulk of it, I mean basically all of it. This is going to be internal. This is going to be internal. This is all internal. Player needs to exist. Kinda, actually. Hold on. Let's just make this a if. Well, actually, right now, let's just make this a canvas player. And then we need to pass in our editing state and our playback style. But do we, though? I guess we would need to. Yeah, okay. So let's do that. That means I guess basically all we're going to do is copy that through and pass it on. Yeah, let's just call that what we want to do. Blah, blah, blah. This all gets erased. Private, let editing state. Sorry, we've got variable names that we need to redeem for people who are not here, but I would still feel bad if we did not. So I think we have... I think we did do Gimme That Retirement, folks, by Adamov. We did do that. Did we get Never Mind I Screwed Up? We did not. Okay. So private let Never Mind I Screwed Up. If people are not familiar with what is going on here, there is a redemption in the channel points that allows you, with a certain number of channel points, to name a variable. And they're going to be all over the place in here. And so there's definitely some stuff in here that you saw down here. Early adopter gang, wet eggs. Just you know, weird variable names. I'm trying to remember the format of this. So this is Never Mind I Screwed Up. Animorph on. Also, did I say -2 over here? What? Where did I copy this from? This was 7 days ago, so this was on 2/12. And the next one was by K&H, I remember, but it was Seems Moderately Happy. This one was 3 days ago, so that was the 16th. Ooh, it's a binding. Okay, so this is at binding. Do we actually care about that? Let's say that we do care about that. Playback style. Cool. So then we're gonna say self dot editing state. Sorry, self dot never mind I screwed up equals editing state. Which in that case we don't need the self, right? And then underscore seems moderately happy equals playback style. Perfect. All right. Current layers we do not need. Body is just going to be canvas player. Yeah, this is weird. So this would be $, seems moderately happy. Gets us the binding. This is just never mind I screwed up. Yeah? Okay. That should have no real effect. This is what we're hoping to see here is that I just click on this and it just looks exactly the same. Perfect. All right. That was actually what we wanted. So then, yeah, the next thing that we need to do is we need to go build our new one. And for right now, I think all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in like a red square. That's all I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and do new stream player. What all do we need here? Definitely import Swift UI. We'll see what else we need to do. We might need to import export. Ooh, where are we actually doing our exporting? Hold on. Export 3D. Video exporter 3D is in export. Okay, so we're good. I was gonna say if that links back into the main app, then we're gonna be in trouble, but it's not. All right, canvas player, yeah, struct, stream player, view. And then my guess is that we will need to init with an editing state. Yeah, an editing state and a playback style. I'm just trying to think because what all do we need to do with regards to this? Like, we definitely need the editing state in order to get the document. And I guess, yeah, we would need the playback style in order to figure out what to do with the document. So yeah, let's take in the same values. Just don't know what all we're actually going to do yet. We're gonna actually just ignore them for now. And then color dot red. That should be all we need. So we're gonna go ahead and switch back to player, and we're actually gonna just comment this out for now. Are we? No. We're gonna go ahead and do the feature flagging. Process info. Looks like someone's trying to break watch streaks. I'm just trying to celebrate President's Day, one of the most important holidays. Mono said it was okay to break watch streaks. I trust him. How's it going, KNH? How's your Monday so far? Yeah, I guess this is actually what we want here, right? Seems strange to me, but I think this is actually what we want. If this is equal to nil, then we use the canvas player. Fancy programming font? What font is this? This is, Fira Code? Yeah, it does have the ligatures. So if you do the bang like that. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what other good ones it has, like this one. You forgot to turn on your special holiday crash report redemptions? Those are only for April Fool's Day. Yeah, this is just Fira Code. I think I had one at a different point that was using Microsoft's Cascadia font. And also apparently one that's using Zapfino. I don't know why I did that. But no, I mostly stick with Fira Code. But yeah, so we're going to do this as just kind of like a pseudo feature flagging system here. Let's go ahead and import the things that we need to see here, which is import data. Is that the only one that we need? No, import editing state. I thought that was separate from vision, or separate from data. Okay, we're gonna call that good. And now if we go into our, oops, we go into our scheme and we go to run arguments and we add an environment variable. I don't think we actually need the 1 in there. I think as long as we just declared that it was true, like declared that it was in here, this would work, but I feel better with the 1. I don't know if it's actually useful for anything, but I feel better with it there. So there's nothing there, which I think means that our feature flag is actually working. But if I recall correctly, I have to add the glass background effect for anything to show up. I vaguely remember that being a thing that we've run into in the past. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there's our stream player. It's not actually doing anything yet, but it means that we have that working. And then if I just go into this scheme and I edit that scheme and I uncheck that box and I build and run, we should be back to the existing playback mechanism. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we have our test ground. We have that all set up. Oops, not new scheme. But now we can switch back and forth, and because this is not the default, like if I commit this and I push it out and I release a version with it, people aren't going to accidentally see the red square that doesn't actually do anything. Okay, so I think what we need to do here is we're going to set up basically an AV player in here. And that AV player is going to be our video. And then we need to get a video stream into that video player. So, first question, how do I do an AV player in SwiftUI? I don't think that's the thing that I can just do directly, so I'm going to have to wrap that. I think I'm going to have to wrap that in UI view representable and just get that working that way. Also, what I'm realizing is probably going to be a problem right now. I don't think that I can do video export with a transparent background. And so we might not be able to have a transparent background with the stream player. That might be a problem for us in a minute. We're going to take a look at it, but yeah, that might be an issue. We have an AV player view controller, along with playback controls and other media features, giving you a full featured playback experience. Does that give us access to the player? Because this would be the easiest way to get started, at least. Yeah, so we can access the player off of here. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get started with this one. And then we can come back to that one if we need to. So let's go with struct stream player representable. Representable. Is that AV Kit or AV Foundation? AV Kit. Let's just put nothing in there for now and see what happens when we do this. I'm hoping we get like a black square or maybe a black square with some video controls, or we get nothing. Also possible option. Okay, so that gave us something. We at least have a spinner. Yeah, that'll work for now. Glass background effect. Yeah. What are we actually using in the canvas player to not have to have that glass background effect? Nothing. I don't know why it works. We'll have to figure out why that works. Why the other one doesn't work. But for now, I think this will give us a start, at least. So if we've got a view, I think the next thing that we need to do is we need to try getting a stream into here. And so like, what can we hook up to an AV player? I know that we can give it a playback item. I don't think that's what we want. I think what we want to do is we want to give it, there's like an AV player might actually not be what we want. There's something that allows us to pass in like a video input. We can get a video output. But I think what we want is a video input. Yeah, because we have AV player item. What can we get out of AV player item? I think this is just, yeah, AV assets. I think I actually want to go look at my code that we have that does all of the overlays on stream, because I think that feeds in the device input. So let's go take a look at that, if we can find it. Twitch alerts, project, Twitch alerts, sources, device overlays, device video view. This is sounding promising. Handle connection, handle disconnection. Session.add input. So we have a session. That's an AV capture session, if I recall correctly. Yeah. AV capture video preview layer is maybe actually what we need. But an AV capture session, that's not really what we want either, because we're not capturing anything. AV capture output, AV capture input. I don't think there's any AV capture inputs that can take in just a stream of anything. What are the subclasses of AV capture input? That's what I really need to figure out. AV capture device input, screen input, metadata input. I think that's probably what we're looking for. Sample buffer playback. Hey, that sounds way more interesting. AV sample buffer display layer. This, I think, is what we were looking for. AV sample buffer display layer. Sample buffer renderer. How do I just like feed this an object that enqueues video sample buffers for rendering? This sounds very much like what I want. And it's brand new in iOS 17. iOS 70, Jesus. This sounds promising. But how do we actually use it? Conforms to AV queued sample buffer rendering. It allows us to enqueue a CM sample buffer. Is our CM... Let's go back and look at our video export code. We have a CM tagged buffer, right? Okay, is that good enough for what we want. CM sample buffer. CM tagged buffer is what we're looking for. CM tagged buffer is a struct. That's not helpful. CM sample buffer. Can I create a CM sample buffer from a CM tagged buffer? We can give it a CM image buffer. Tag buffers. Hey, look at that. But that's Git. This is exactly what I want, but I need it to be settable. What is this again? CM sample buffer? I think we need to just like write this in here and then go look at the headers. Let's go back to here. Let's somewhere. We can pass it all kinds of stuff. I saw something that said CM tag buffer. Hey, here we go. CM sample buffer with tagged buffers, presentation timestamp, duration, format description. Yeah, this is what we're looking for. So we can pass in some tagged buffers. Give it a timestamp, give it a duration, give it a format description. Okay. I only understand what some of these are. Tagged buffers, presentation timestamp. Okay. Let's go look at some of the code for this. Yeah, interestingly, I don't see an init here. Maybe it's part of this protocol. No. No. Where is this init coming from? Perfect. There's an init here, and when I command click it, it doesn't take me to what I want. And the file that it takes me to does not have that init in there whatsoever. Perfect. Thankfully, the documentation still works. And there is actual documentation in here. An array of CM tagged buffers that already contains the CV pixel buffer or CM sample buffer data and CM tags. In the case of using CM sample buffer as a payload, the PTS, don't know what a PTS is, in CM sample buffer won't be referenced. Oh, probably presentation timestamp. That's literally the very next thing. Timestamp of the tagged buffers, duration of the tagged buffers, a description of the tagged buffers format. Okay, I think we're gonna need to go back and look at our video exporter. Because our video exporter gives us some tagged buffers, and it does give us a presentation time, which is the CM time. So that's probably our timestamp. It's interesting that it's asking for a duration. I guess our duration would just be our frame duration right here. So I don't understand what all we need. This gives us a video writer. Okay, let's walk back a couple things. What we need is some sample buffer or some pixel buffers, tag buffers. Let's put these next to each other. What we need is to get these tagged buffers down here, left and right. Get those. We need a presentation timestamp, which is right here. But what's curious to me is like this presentation time frame duration dot timescale. Okay, so this is the time scale. And then our duration is probably just 1 with that timescale. I got it. Okay, I think I know what our value is. So let's mock up what this is going to look like. Let presentation time is our index. our CM sample buffer is going to get our 2 tagged buffers. So we're going to have this and this. Don't worry that none of this makes any sense yet. We're also probably not going to do this in this code. Left and right tag buffer. So this is going to be our presentation time. Let's go with let duration. This is just going to be... Can I just put 1 in there? No. Maybe. Who knows? Not me, because I haven't imported core media. It still doesn't help. CM time takes the CM time value, which is just an N64. Okay. 1 is a valid N64 value. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Left and right tagged buffer. So then our tagged buffers is just going to be left tag buffer, right tag buffer. Presentation timestamp is going to be presentation time. Our duration is going to be duration. Our format description is what? ACM format description, which is what? Is an object that describes media types, audio, video, muxt, and so on. I don't know how to make those. So that's going to be the one that we have to figure out. Okay. But I think we have a general idea of what we want to do here. And we just need to figure out this part. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take Video Exporter 3D. We are going to extract out the parts of it that are giving us tagged buffers. And we are going to then pull that back into Video Exporter 3D. And then we'll also do something in it that'll be like Video Streamer 3D. Video Stream 3D, something like that. And that'll give us these CM sample buffers. And then we can feed all of that into whatever our player is. Okay. I think we have a plan. Is it a good plan? Who knows? Is it a plan? It's a plan. So let's go ahead and say, yeah, let's go create our video buffer generator 3D. What we're going to do here we'll go ahead and grab all of this. Woo. All right. So I think what we want to do is we are going to we're going to extract out the bits of this for loop here. Where's the for loop? There's a for loop somewhere. This for loop. Maybe more than that for loop. We're going to extract out the parts that are related to this for loop that may or may not be just the for loop itself. And we're going to basically give ourselves an action that passes in our left and right CM buffer. And then we'll let anybody do with that what they want. I think that's a good idea. Okay. So let's go get, export video from document on complete, blah, blah, blah. Let's also make this async because why not? Actually, we don't want this to be... We actually don't want this to be async. If anything, we would want it to be an async sequence. But I think for now, let's just go ahead and say actions. And then this is going to take in a array of CM tag buffer to void. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Let's also pull this over to the right. No, let's leave this on the left. Let's pull this to the right. And then grab what we need here. So we're going to start by creating our transformed document. Therefore, we don't need this over here. We will need our UUID string. We will need our export URL. This stays over here because we're not dealing with files over there. We do need let video writer, because again, that's files. This is files. Assistant settings. I don't think we need any of that. Adapter, we don't need. Frame duration, I think we do need. Yeah, this part's tricky. I don't understand this part. But yeah, let's go ahead and grab our frame duration. Self standard frames per second. Yeah, I think we almost need like a video generation constants. We've got too many things that are reused in a bunch of places. So there's our frame duration. Okay, so that was actually useful anyway. We actually want that anyway. Good. Okay. I haven't quite decided what we're doing yet. Anyway, let's grab all of this. Going to go walk the dogs and start a very ambitious dinner in honor of all the presidents, country, and company. Pop in back later since it's the 24-hour stream. Oh no. All right. Let's grab this. You have a different course for each of the presidents. This is a 46-course meal. And / or a 45-course meal, considering whether or not you count Garfield twice. Do you have like one course and then go to the next course and then come back for the same course again? All right. Let's grab all of these. Presentation time. Perfect. Okay. See, now this is the tricky part. Okay, so we get our images. First of all, why is this having trouble finding page image render? I don't like that at all. This should not be part of playback vision. There's your problem. Now this probably isn't going to know about presentation constants, generation constants. So that probably also had the same problem. All right. So yeah, media ready condition. We don't want. I don't understand why we're doing this in this order, but we're going to do it anyway. Let's get rid of all of. Yeah, no, hang on. Let's just do one thing at a time. Actions, left tag buffer, right tag buffer. So this is going to be our value here. Presentation time. We might actually care about that. Because that happens over here. So yeah, let's pass in our presentation time as well. Okay. So then we get rid of our trait collection, we get rid of our pages, we get rid of our for each. Yeah, we do all of this. And this becomes video buffer generator 3D. Export video from, and then we need to pass in our document. Just all the way up here. Actions is this part. And our actions is buffers. Let's call it tag buffers. Presentation time. In blah, 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 blah. Oh God, all of our formatting is messed up. What have we done? I think we've got too many curly braces. I think that's what we've done. All right, CM time value here. I think we do need this. Can we make this whole thing return the final duration? I think that seems a little weird, but I think that's fine. Let duration equals, and then this is going to be our, yeah, I think this is going to be our value here. There we go. All right, I think that works. Let's get back to our page image render, which now needs this to be video generation constants. Okay. It's building. I don't know what this means for us yet, but it is building. Okay, so this now lets us have a set of tagged buffers for every single page. I think that's fine. I think that's where we want to start. So let's go back to our stream player. Actually, what we should do, we should make sure that this is still working for the export case. So let me put on the headset. It's easier said than done when you got a microphone in the way. And a hat. All right. I think I'm not going to share the screen just yet because I want to be able to see Xcode, which I can't do. Oh, hey, for one thing, maybe I should run this on the headset and not on simulator. Reason I got to run it on the actual headset, in case you weren't here earlier, is the video export code that Apple has. What are we preparing? Why are we preparing? Okay, good. I was gonna say, that better not take forever. The video export code that Apple provides is... Where are we looking at? I guess we don't have that open right now. This bit right here, this assistant settings. If you try to set any of these values here on the simulator, then when you get to this line down here and you pass it these assistant settings, it just crashes. And it doesn't even give you a helpful error. It's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. So that doesn't work. But we're going to try to work around that. And we are going to that our thing is on right. Because otherwise you can't actually interact with anything. There we go. Yeah, we're going to work with this on the headset because if I try to do it in the simulator, then it crashes. That's where I was going. So I'm opening share. I am realizing that I don't have the preview that I thought, but it doesn't matter because what we're testing is the export. So we're going to export it. We're going to save to files. Maybe. I mean, I don't see anything that looks like it crashed over here. Oh, something died. And it looks like the app is still running, right? Something doesn't look right now. It got dark, didn't it? I can't see because the thing's annoying. Lost connection to the debugger on Apple Vision Pro. Restore the connection and run Kineo again. Okay. So something crashed. At least as far as I can tell, something crashed. It's interesting that we didn't see anything here. I don't see anything. Nothing in here looks surprising. These look like the sort of errors that we normally see. Okay, so we're going to try running this again. We have in the past, when developing on Xcode, run into memory warnings that we didn't have before. So I'm wondering if it's that again. And that caused a very similar crash. And I'm wondering if my issue is that just that I need to get rid of. I need to reboot the headset. This is not running. A build-only device cannot be used to run this target. What? If this crashes again this time, I'm just going to reboot and we'll see what happens. Okay, we're back in here. Share. Share. Save to files. Yeah, so we definitely see stuff happening down here. Hey, it worked this time. Okay, cool. Okay, so that seems like it's saved. So let's go ahead and open files. If we can remember where that's at. Easier said than done. Let's open files. Here it is. Okay. Okay, so the video export did work. That all looks right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we can move forward with this. Something seems wrong. I'm trying to figure out what it is. I think that's fine, though. I think this is actually correct. So, yeah, let's go ahead and call this good. And I'll take the headset back off. Trying to rearrange everything through all of the wires on the desk. Hat back, glasses back, headphones back. Now I can see and pretend that I've been here the whole time. Okay, so video export still works. I think that's a point where I should just commit. I think that's a good hang on, we've got something stable. Let's do it there. Hey, Tukes, how are you doing? Long time no see. Hasn't been that long, right? Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe I've seen you in other people's streams. What did you think of the Apple Vision Pro? I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's good. Doing some development for it right now. Trying to get some 3D video exports a little bit better. Trying to build a system for being able to test my 3D video export code, which I currently have to run okay, I'm gonna go build the thing, I'm gonna go in there, I've got to export, I've got to I've got to get to an image, I've got to run the export, I've got to save it, I've got to get it out to files, then I got to open files, then I got to open the specific file that I found, and then I can look at it. What I want to do is I want to shorten that by saying okay, when I go to the export page, I have a preview there that generates the files on the fly and previews it right there. And then ideally, the way that works is words. I'm having trouble with my words all of a sudden. Ideally, the way that works is I can tweak values on the fly and it updates right there, as opposed to me having to save it out to a file and then reopen that file. That's what we're trying to do right now. Sickness. No, I haven't had any sickness with it. It took me a while to get used to the weight of it. And it wasn't even so much the weight of it as it's heavy, so you got to pull it tight in order to not have it fall down. And then the tightness was a problem. But I think I've got that dialed in a little bit. I put on the dual strap just the other day, thinking oh, maybe I'll do this at a different time, blah blah blah. And I didn't have any I don't like the dual strap. I think it's too much, it's too finicky for me. And so I think I'm going to switch back to the single strap. I think it's more comfortable, and I think the dual strap just takes too much fiddling to get in the right spot. And with the dual strap, I have a problem that I don't have with the solo strap, which is putting it on. I have it always wants to sit a little too high, and so then I put it on and it's pull it down lower, and then I pull it down lower, and then it feels like it's squishing my face like this. I don't like it as much. Anyway, what is the story of Vision Pro returning back? I did not return my Vision Pro. It's right here. Well, technically speaking, I did return my Vision Pro, and then I immediately bought a second one. Yeah, no, it's right here. I still have a Vision Pro. My first one had a problem with it, and I had to take it in, and they just swapped me. And the way that they did that was okay, we're just gonna give you a refund on the first one, and you have to buy a new one. It was really, really a weird experience. But yeah, so technically I did return my Vision Pro and immediately buy a new one in the same sitting. But that just is down to how Apple's handling returns. Compile dev, no, it's still light outside. Stop streaming at this time of day. No, I refuse. I will stream all I want at this time of day. Trying to improve typing your whole life. Oh, shoot. Somebody asked me about what keyboard I have earlier, and I never answered them. Was it Eaglenaut? I forgot to answer Eaglenaut's questions, and he laughed. I'm sorry. Eaglenaut, if you're still hearing me, I will answer your question. I just totally spaced on it. I'm sorry. Trying to improve your typing your whole life. Been trying with 2 fingers. How do you write with 10 fingers? If so, how did you practice? I don't know. I just kind of did it. I don't remember. I just kind of, because I also used to hunt and peck, do the 2-finger typing. I don't honestly remember how I went from 2-finger typing to more. Took typing at school back on the day, so you're classically trained on the typewriter. So we had a typing class in school, but I think I was already a decent typist before that. We had the whole, was it Mavis Beacon? Mavis Beacon teaches typing. I actually don't think it was. That doesn't look familiar. I just remember the name of Mavis Beacon, but I don't think that's who we actually used. But I also said that, or I also think I forgot where that sentence was going. I don't know. We're going to give up. What keyboard do you have? I have the Ergodox EZ, which is a split keyboard. It comes in 2 pieces. I'm not going to hold up the other piece because, well, I can. There's nothing stopping me. It's just more of a pain to plug back in because there's 2 pieces. Ergodox EZ, which I apparently need to vacuum out. Never ask somebody to turn their keyboard upside down. It's kind of gross. It just like had cat hair falling out of it. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, no, I like it. That one definitely took some relearning after using a normal keyboard the entire time. I was pretty slow on this one for about a month before it came back, before I got back to full speed on this keyboard. Because yeah, definitely having the 2 hands is weird. And I found that I always used to type the Y key with my left hand. I would like stretch to type the Y. And when it's on an entire different board a foot away, you can't just go bap, 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 bap. Doesn't work as well. Was there a Mario typing game? Mario teaches typing. I think this might have been what we had. I think we might have had a Mario teaches typing game. That might be it. Or maybe Mario teaches typing 2. But yeah, I was already decently familiar with typing before I took that class. Because that class didn't exist until high school, so. Which is funny because we had computer classes in elementary school. It was only like once a week. But we had basic computer classes in elementary school. And they're like, yeah, you should learn how to use a computer. And then in high school, they were like, you should learn to type on the computer. Finding the right keyboard for you matters. People give you crap for all your keyboards, but you took a while to find the natural one for your stretch and style. Yeah. No, I am a big believer in try all the keyboards you can. Find something you like. I have a bunch of different keyboards that I like. So I use this one. This like the one that I use on this stream is the one that's like hooked up to my computer. But it's not my favorite one, but it is the one that I use because it's for this stream. The other one that I have that I use better, that I like nicer, is the same exact one but with a different set of keycaps on it. Hang on, let me go grab. Let me actually go grab a like suite of keyboards. I'll be right back. I think I've. God, my stream deck is not wanting to respond. I think you can hear me now. But yeah, it was being very unresponsive with changing the music back. I think we're good now. Anyway, keyboards. Got a bunch. I've got way too many keyboards right here, right now. So I showed off the Ergodox. I would say that's the main keyboard I use these days. But it's not my favorite. My favorite is this one, which is also an Ergodox, but it has different keys in it, different switches in it. And the reason I don't use that keyboard as often, even though I prefer it much more, is because, hang on, let me grab the other one. This is the keyboard I use on stream, and it sounds like this. And this is the keyboard that I prefer, and it sounds like this. It is much louder, and so I don't use it on stream because it is distractingly loud. So, as much as I would prefer that one, I don't think that you all would prefer that one, and so I don't leave it hooked up. My previous favorite keyboard, before I found the split keyboards, was this one, which is the WASD code keyboard with a custom keycap set to look like the old classic Mac keyboards, the Apple like ADB keyboards. And I really like this one too. It has the same switches. They are not red switches. The switches that I have in this one and in the louder of the two Ergodoxes are green switches. And the switches that I have in the keyboard that I use primarily are clear, I want to say. I think they might be clears. I would have to find a keycap puller and yank it off to answer that question. But yeah, this was what I used before, which was the green ones. They're also very clicky and very loud. So, yeah, this was the one that I used before. The cat ate the escape key on it. I don't know if you can see that. The escape key's gone because the cat tore it off. I might have to find the video of that. And then the keyboard that I have for my streaming machine, absolute trash keyboard. I hate this keyboard. Hate it with a passion. It is the Night Fox Vera by Input Club. I don't like it at all. But it's tiny and it's quiet. It's very quiet. So that's the keyboard that I use to control my streaming machine, that really all I have to do is set some dates on it every so often. I don't really have to use any keyboards on it, but yeah, I don't like this keyboard. It's missing too many keys. It's too small. It's too finicky. The frickin' tilde key's on the right. Why is the tilde key over here? Explain. I don't like this keyboard. Sorry. Sorry to the people at Night Fox, or at Input Club. I was not a fan of that one. And then the latest keyboard that I have. This is the keyboard that I bought to go with the Vision Pro. This is the Keychron K3. It is also a very clicky keyboard. And this is the only Bluetooth keyboard that I have. So I needed that for the Vision Pro because you can't plug a keyboard into the Vision Pro. There's no ports for that. So I bought this to use the Vision Pro, and I actually really like this one. It's a low profile key switch, so like I don't know if you can see that it is much skinnier than, say, the Night Fox. Let me go grab that one. Much lower profile keys. But yeah, no. I actually really like this one. But yeah. Keychron K3 is what that one is. And yeah, like I said, it's the only Bluetooth keyboard that I own. Yeah, there's the wild tour of all my keyboards that I have. But yeah, let me see if I can yank one of these keys off and tell you for a fact which key switches that I use on my main keyboard. They are browns. They are disgusting. Vacuum your keyboards, kids. Cherry brown. That's what they are. Do you use the arrow keys often, or can you work without them with a 60% keyboard? No, I use the arrow keys very often. I use them all the time. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where to put these things now. Like, set things down everywhere. Yeah, I think the only ones of mine that have any O-rings on them are the ones in the code, which is why it's not quite as loud as the Ergodoxes are. You can compare the two, even though these have the same keys, like, versus... Actually, this one sounds quieter. I don't know why that would be, because these do have the rings on them, and the Ergodox does not. Don't know. One of life's mysteries. Anywho, let's get back to Mavis Bacon teacher's typing. No. You have the rings on the arrow keys for gaming. Yeah, I don't game with any keyboards. I don't use keyboards for gaming. I'm a console plebe. Where were we? Yeah, getting video sample output. But no, I have I have the keyboard or the arrow keys on all of my keyboards, and I use them all the time. So up and down right here. The key clusters on my Ergodox are pretty bizarre. I did my own. You can reprogram what keys do what on the Ergodox pretty easily, and so I definitely have a weird setup on there that has like space everywhere, especially on these like thumb keys down here. They do a lot of.
It looks like test person doesn't share their location with you in the Find My app.
Some form of Siri was just talking to me, and I have no idea where it was coming from, but they just said test person doesn't share their location with me in the Find My app. I don't have anything that would be like out loud in here. I don't know what that would. Oh, it was my MacBook. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, where were we? We were doing video stream export. Let's get back to that. We have it exporting files now, given the set of sample buffers that we have. So now what we want to do is we want to take those same sample buffers and we want to put them in a video player instead. That's where we want to end up. So let's get back to our sample buffer generator. That's over here. All right, so I think what we need to do, we've got our stream player. We have our CM sample buffer. What are we doing with that CM sample buffer? Given that we have the CM sample buffer, see, this is the problem. I didn't leave enough comments for myself. We had something that could play sample buffers, right? That was how we ended up at CM sample buffer. CM, no, it was AV buffer. How did we do this? Because we had the AV capture stuff. That was where we were looking at. AV capture session. This was how we ended up here. AV capture session, and then I clicked on AV foundation, and then I went in here and I said, oh, sample buffer playback. That looks familiar. And then we have an AV sample buffer display layer. Also a video renderer. I think I'm going to go with buffer display layer. And I'm assuming this is a CA layer. Okay. So let's go create a view that has this as its layer. And then we have to feed this sample buffers somehow. An object that enqueues video sample buffers for rendering. Oh, but also then we have this enqueue sample buffer. Oh, which is deprecated. Use enqueue on the sample buffer renderer instead. What's an AV sample buffer renderer? So yeah, I guess we're going to need to create one of these renderers. Can we set the renderer? Because then if we could just subclass this. No, we can't. Of course not. So we need to create a view that has this layer. We need to get the renderer off the layer, and we need to enqueue things onto the renderer. Interesting. Okay. Let's call this stream player View seems like the wrong name. Preview. No, that also sounds like the wrong name. Somebody come up with a good name for this. What is the render display? Yeah, let's sure. And then this will be not UI view representable, but UI, or sorry, not view controller representable, but just view representable. Render vision. And then I think, yeah, we do want a render view. Stream, player, render, view. This is a UI view. And then, actually, you know what? Here, this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to make this a sub thing over here. Class, view, UI view. Okay, so then the trick that we need to do here is we need to pass in a document to this, I think. Yeah, let's pass in a document to this. So we'll have this init with a document. And then I guess what we need to do, oops. Yeah. I think we need our view to take in the same value. Yeah, see, here's the tricky part is like, where do we actually do this rendering is the tricky piece. Yeah, let's just keep building this and we'll figure it out. Actually, we need all of this stuff. BVV, blah, blah, blah. We're back in UIKit land, so we have boilerplate. So we're going to say init with document, document, private let document, document, self.document equals document. And then view comes with document, which is document. Imagine that. Why does this not conform to UI view representable? It just says it doesn't. I don't think I can put some UI view here. Oh, I totally can. Ignore me. Then what we need here is we need to get our transform document. No, we actually don't. We can just do this from our editing state. Okay. Private let editing state. Okay, there's our editing state. Everything goes into here. Perfect. All right. So now we need to set up that layer. What was that layer? Already forgotten what it was called. AV sample buffer display layer. And if I recall correctly, we can just override layer class. Old man nap time? Old man nap time? What do you think this is? Holiday? Have a good nap. Compile dev. Yeah, so if I think if I do this and I override layer class here, then we can get our display layer as a layer. Only a 2 to 3 hour nap. Yeah. I still haven't decided if I'm going to be on at my regular time too. So that'll be just in time for that, right? You can take a 2 to 3 hour nap and then I'll still be streaming. but it'll just be like a second stream. So let's go, yeah, var display layer. AV sample buffer display layer. This is going to be layer as that, right? Which means this needs to be optional. It'll be like 2 streams for you, so it'll feel like a bonus stream? Yeah. No, I think it might actually be 2 streams for me, too. Just like, I'll get to where I can with this, stop, go eat dinner, whatever else, come back, stream again at my normal time. Actually have 2 streams. Okay, so we set this up. We have our layer. We have our display layer. And so then I think what we want to do is we want to say display layer dot sample buffer renderer dot enqueue. See, now this is the tricky part. This will be normal from you come June, July. That's the hope. Yeah, so I think what I want here. Okay, this is how we're gonna do this. Display? No. How are we doing this? Video buffer generator 3D dot export video. Why is this not working? Because we haven't imported export. Okay, so let's move this out into its own file so that we don't have to deal with this. Stream, player, render, display. Yep. Okay, so this file does stay in playback vision. Is someone retiring in June/July? I don't think I'd call it retiring. Ooh, no, this is fine. Okay. I thought we were going to be in trouble, but we're not. We're not going to be in trouble at all. Actually, we can just grab all of this. Yoink. Some of this needs to stay. That still builds. This is going to need all of this stuff. This is going to need import UI kit. We better? Okay. UI view representable. This still needs import Swift UI too. Oy. All right. Now we should have things. Export video from document. Actions. This gives us our buffer and our presentation time. I think we might actually also need our frame duration. So let's make this take a second CM time. Can we actually provide labels here? I always forget where labels are okay. Function types cannot have argument labels. They screwed that up in like Swift 2, 3, and they still haven't fixed it yet. And that is probably one of the most annoying things about Swift. They said, oh yeah, the labels, we're not going to make them important. We'll totally fix it right away. And they never did. It's a pleasure watching you program without Googling anything as I Google this part. I think this is it. Yeah. 29. What is wrong with labels in Swift? There are a lot of places where you just can't provide them for some reason. And you used to be able to do them until this proposal, which if I recall correctly had something in here. Maybe this isn't actually the version that I was thinking of. There was one in here that removed labels, and it was very early on, like this. You know, like this says 3 years ago, but that's not when this was created. But there was one where they changed the how labels worked with tuples, and so now it's very hard to put it in stuff. You spend equal amount of time in Xcode and on Google. Hey, I mean, sometimes Googling stuff is the experience that you have. I mean, when I was looking at it earlier, I wasn't in Google. I was in this, which is an app called Dash, which does documentation. Hey, Mono's here. Streak continues. Cool. I can sign off now. No, yeah. So I was like looking at documentation here. Was not having to Google anything, but that's mostly also because I'm in like a realm of I don't know how many things there are out here that Google even knows about. I could have sworn that there was something in here. Was it maybe with the, like, when they removed function currying? Maybe that was what I was thinking of. I'm like 7 layers deep in tangents at this point. Anyway, my thing that I'm upset about here, KNH. Let me get back to this. Oh, Mono crashed Xcode. So I can't demo to you what's happening. What I want here, I've got this closure that gets passed into my thing. CM tag buffer, CM time, CM time. Well, I got 2 different CM times. How am I, as a consumer of this thing, supposed to know what I actually want here? But like, what of each of these CM times is a thing? So I want to put a label on here, and I want to say that this is tag buffers. I mean, this is the one that doesn't matter because that's what it is. This is presentation time, and this is frame duration. So then when I come back to this later, I know which of these is which. Unfortunately, this is not valid Swift. And you can't do this. But if I recall correctly, back in the very early days, like Swift 2 type days, this was legal. This was totally legal. And you could do this. You can put an underscore in front. Yes, you can put an underscore in front. But that doesn't help me as a consumer of this. Type alias the closure. Does that help? Let's call this actions equals. Assuming that I'm removing these underscores. Let's go back and get rid of the underscores. Boop, boop. Yeah, that still doesn't work because it's still a function type. It's currently complaining about that because of there. But yeah, this still doesn't like that. Yeah, and like I said, I'm pretty sure that used to be valid code. And then they changed something, and I don't remember which particular evolution was. I thought it was this one. But I may be wrong. But no, I mean, this looks like this is what it is. Doesn't it help Xcode with autocomplete a little consumer side? So let's leave that in here. A tuple can't help you? I might, if I made it like an actual tuple, and I passed in the tuple in there, that might work. Where were we at here? No, not this part. Video buffer generator dot export video. Yeah, no. Well, A, for one thing, this is missing the new third thing that I put in there. Xcode doesn't even know what I'm doing. Build failed. Okay, now that it builds, the autocomplete should work. It's missing the third thing entirely. Mono, restart Xcode for me. Duplicated code? I don't think it's duplicated code. Here, let me do this autocomplete. Yeah, Xcode. Mono got there first. Thank you, Coach County. No, it still doesn't work though. So here, let's document buffers time in. Let's just not do anything. That should not compile. Yeah. Expects 3 arguments, but 2 are used in closure body. So it's not duplicated code. Xcode's autocomplete is just wrong. Command S on the left tab. Well, clearly it's been saved because Xcode got killed and restarted. But actually what I probably should do is I should try like tweaking it and then doing it. But yeah, it is saved. And then if I come back here, I think it's still not working. Yeah, that's still giving me the old one. But why don't we try changing something? So let's say that this is a string. And then that's going to complain because that's not how that actually works. But then maybe if I come back over here and I try it. No, it's still not right. Who knows? Yeah, it really doesn't like that. What happens if I remove all of these labels?
Happy 30th or something.
Yes, 30th. We'll go with that. I'll accept 30th. Yeah, it just doesn't want to update this autocomplete at all. That's super weird. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop trying to mess with it. Buffers, presentation time. You didn't have to tell them that, Coach Connie. First time you've seen this? Yeah, no, I don't remember ever seeing anything like that anyway. Either. Sorry, not anyway. Yeah, I've never seen anything like this where it just like refuses to update the autocomplete. Oh, yes, you did.
Off by 5 error.
Thank you, Mono. Yeah, I've definitely seen some weird things with Xcode autocomplete, but that is not one of them, where it just refuses to update no matter what I do. All right. Anyway, there's my export video, buffers, presentation time, frame duration. Now what? So now what we need to do is we need to enqueue these into the display layer. So I think actually what I want to do is I want to say guard let display layer else return. And then I think I want to, no. I think what I want to do is, yeah, I'm not going to try messing with it anymore. I'm happy with where I am. This will be fine. I mean, this isn't an escaping. See, now I said escaping. This actually is not an escaping action. So I actually don't need this to be weak. I can just use self because it's not an escaping closure. It's guaranteed to be called right here. We're actually good. What was I doing? Now that I have this, yeah, I need to actually get my display layer. So guard let display layer else return. Yeah, perfect. Do we need the result from this? I don't think we do. So can we mark this as discardable result? We can. Perfect. Okay. Guard let display layer else return. And then...
While Eaglenot is not around, Nutter 10 scream.
Thank you, Mono. Nutter 10 scream. Eaglenot was here earlier. He went to cook a 46-course dinner. Alright, so we have our display layer. And now what we need to do with our display layer is we need to... Oh, do we need this on every single video? No, this is actually not what we want to do. We want to do this. We want to grab our display layer there. And then we're going to use our display layer in here. Display layer dot sample buffer renderer dot NQ. And then we need a CM sample buffer. Okay. Let sample buffer equals CM sample buffer with tagged buffers. Perfect. Buffers. Presentation is presentation. Eaglenot is also number 2 on the grifters list. Oh, gifters list. Okay, that makes way more sense. I was going to say, Eaglenot is a grifter? Eaglenot is a drifter. Okay, so we still haven't figured out what this CM tagged buffer group format description is. But I think this gets us into here. Sample buffer. So what is our format description? A million different things that we can choose here. What do we got going on? We can give it an image buffer. Ooh, we can actually just give it tagged buffers. Look at that. Boom. Perfect. Sweet. All right. So that should give us our layer. That should enqueue all of our videos or all of our frames. So now the question is, how do we get this to play? How do we get this to... How do we get this to do anything? Let's go back and look at our layer. So we've given it a layer. We've told it to enqueue everything. Do we need to tell it to play? Do we need to tell it... Because A, I think we need to tell it to play. B, I think we need to tell it to... loop, basically. Sample buffer display layer conforms to queued sample buffer rendering. Other than that, it just inherits from CA layer. Whereas I'm thinking of like other things like AV player layer. AV player layer. Player layer. Well, they have a player, and then I think you can set the player to be looping. Play. Action at item end. Yeah, this is, I think, what we need. No. I don't know. Let's just try running this and let's see what happens, I guess. Let's go ahead and build and run and see what we get. Sorry, I'm getting messages. Oh god. A million messages. What is happening? I might have to drop off soon. What are you mad about? Expects 2 arguments. What? No, it doesn't. Contextual closer type CM tagged buffer CM time. Expects 2 arguments. No, it doesn't. That's a lie. We might need to change toist here. Hold on. Yeah, let's just do this in Emacs. My guess is actually that we've got these 2 files. They don't actually rely on each other, and they should be. So vision playback needs to depend on export, and it currently does not. So then if I do that, then we can close this. We can rerun toist generate. Are we getting a build failed with absolutely no errors? Is that what's going on here? Okay, now build succeeded. Here we go. All right. Let's see if this even kind of sort of works. I don't have high hopes, but we'll find out. Share. Hold, please. Yeah, because we regenerated. We don't have our new feature flag on. I was like, there's no way that that just worked. This goes back to Peter's stream from last night. It's like, that just worked. There's no way. Incorrect. All right. Let's try that again. Okay, this is more like it. We have nothing here. We have no useful information here. What? Okay, let's think through what might be wrong. We have our view. Our view is here. Our view is getting all of this stuff. We're enqueuing the buffer. Are we using the view? We are using the view. We can delete all this code. We don't need any of that. So we should have our view. Okay, let's start doing some debugging. Background color equals blue. We're just gonna make sure that the view even exists. Okay, the view exists. We are guaranteed of that. Okay. Next question. Hey, 6412. How are you doing? Okay, so if the view exists, what about the layer? Does the layer exist? Layer, let's go with layer.background color equals green, UI color dot green dot CG color. Not enough points to crash XCOM. You do that though. There we go. Oh no, this is I'm just trying to test something with all my background colors in color. This is gonna be difficult. Display layer dot background color equals UI color dot. Oh jeez. Mono's got you handled. Okay. No, not Emacs. What are we doing? We're gonna have to just sit here and guess what colors these things are. It'll be fine. We'll get this. Dang it! It didn't even save. Okay, so we have our background color blue. You know what? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna layer dot background color equals UI color dot blue CG color. We'll build around that. So if we still see a solid color, we know that that is the layer. We can work around these problems. Playing some NHL 24, destroying Edmonton right now. The entire city. Just destroying the city of Edmonton. Okay, so we still have a solid color, so our layer exists and our layer is filling the screen. Okay. Next question. Oh, geez. Oh no. Does display layer get set up? Display layer. Okay. Put that down here. Because if this is the wrong, not the right color, then we don't have a display layer now. Okay, so we have a display layer. Now I'm confused. See, I think it all comes down to I don't know how to make this layer start playing. Is the problem. What is this layer? This layer is a AV sample buffer display layer. I might have to disappoint 6v6 and actually Google something. See if I understand what's going on. Because I don't know what we need to do to make it actually play this. These samples that we give it. Ooh, we have a status. Hold on. Apple discourages this use of this symbol on 17.17.0 and later. Whether the receiver can be used for enqueuing sample buffers. When this value is failed, the receiver can no longer be used and a new instance needs to be created in its place. Sadly, not the city, but instead the team. Yeah, I really think I need just like a... How does this get used? So this gets the attachments off of the sample buffer ref. Sets a display immediately value. This doesn't sound like what I want. That doesn't sound right. I don't understand. I'm choosing to delay that one. Actually, you know what we haven't done? Hold on. Let's go back to here. Let's go back to AV Foundation. Because when we looked at sample buffer playback, wasn't there a playing custom audio with your own player? This doesn't seem to have anything to do with the layer. I mean, we can look at it anyway, but I don't think this is what we want. Sample buffer serializer. Maybe I'm running into this, like it's not ready stuff. I don't know, that seems... Did you end up buying the Vision Pro? Yes, I did. It's right here. Whenever I get this working, I can put it on and we can actually take a look at it, but I feel like I need to get it working in the simulator first. These people are talking about things that don't make any sense to me, and I feel like I may have stumbled upon something that is much more complicated than I thought. But this actually might be the problem. I think this is ready for more media data. Might be the problem. Not something you'd find personally useful. Yeah, I definitely think it is not for everyone. It is more like if you think you can find something... If you are willing to be an early adopter, if you're willing to kind of be more in the discovery of like, what is this thing even for? That's the target market there. And I'm trying to do that, which is why I'm building apps for this thing. But yeah, I would not recommend it for most people at this time. See the TCL glasses. I saw some glasses. I don't know if that's what I thought. Like, I don't know if it's the same thing as what you're talking about, but yeah. Yeah, don't drive with it. And for those with disposable income, yes, this is also true. I feel like I'm in You own like 30 cents in a turkey sandwich. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for giving me color back. I feel like I'm in I'm standing at the precipice of something that makes it seems like it's actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And I don't know how to make this work. Let me try to figure out this is ready stuff. Do you find with Safari if you scroll back it actually takes 2 attempts to scroll back? I have had that bug in the past. I don't have it right now, but I've definitely had that bug previously. The time base needs to be set to the presentation timestamp of the first frame you intend to decode. I think your ISP kind of blocks Reddit. Reddit might also be doing something weird where it's rewriting history. Reddit's website is garbage. Can I change this control time base? Which indicates the layer interprets timestamps according to the host time clock. Without a control time base, it isn't possible to change when the layer displays frames after enqueuing them. Setting a valid time base enables you to control the timing of frame display by setting the rate and time of the control time base. So I need a CM time base. Okay, let's start with that. So I think I actually do need this, which is going to give me the... You thought your ISP was thinking Reddit was an adult site? So the time scale here, I think, yeah, this is the time scale that I need, right? Control time scale, no, time base. What's the difference between a time base and a time scale? I don't understand. Thank you, this guy. What's the difference between a time base and a time scale? I think I might be at the point where I'm like, I need to give up and do a lot more research. So I can create a time base. No. What? You spent 45 minutes trying to figure out how to land your player on a moving platform? Actually went, sure you do. What's the I want to ask why? Like, what do you think? What do you think the answer is? What is a CM time base? A model of a timeline under application control. I don't understand what a time base is. I'm so lost. Control time base. A time base that interprets how the layer interprets timestamps. By default, this property is nil, which indicates that the layer interprets timestamps according to the host time clock. Setting a valid time base enables you to control the timing. So wait, is this where we need to set like a 0 time? So we have the 0 time through to... I think this might make sense. Hold on. Because we're just counting from 0 in our sample buffers. But if our control time base is our host clock, which is going to be a number in the millions, then we're obviously never displaying our view. So we need a control time base that starts at 0, I think. Does that make sense? That's a question more for me than anybody else. Does that make sense? common ISP out here would block Copilot thinking it was porn? Well, it was from Bing, right? I think I'm going to try this time-based thing, if I can figure out how to do it. Mono's code is not safe for work. But Mono, you write code at work. The CM time base needs a CM clock. I am so confused. CM clock. What is a CM clock? If you wrote the same quality of React Native code like you do at work, but for Swift apps, it would be a horror show. What is a CM clock? How do I create a CM clock? I don't think I can just initialize it. It seemed like that was mad at me for doing that. Nope. Has no initializers. I can't see the crash. Did the crash happen? How do I create a clock other than the host clock? Can we listen to Justin B? No. CM clock create. What? CM audio clock create. I feel like I'm lost. I don't know what to do. That's Jack B. CM time base set time. Ah, here we go. CM time base. Time, what? Time baswe. Time is only get. What are you talking about? Set time. Set time. Ah. I ignored your redemption? Oh, switch music genre. I did ignore your redemption. Okay, Justin B is not a thing on there, but I mean, I would say that that's pop, so we can switch to some pop stations. I did ignore your genre. I'm sorry. Maybe. If the thing lets me go. Click on the button. You want a refund? Okay, you can have a refund. There's your refund. You can have a refund for crashing Xcode too. Okay, so I guess this is saying let's create a time base. CM time base. What time base equals CM time base source clock host time clock. But we say time base set time CM time value 0 timescale. Okay, so then we do need the duration from here. Yeah, okay, I think we got it. Oh god, I think we don't got it. Put this down here. Let's put this here. Duration dot timescale. Can throw. Are you kidding me? Here, we're just gonna let it throw for now. Oh geez, what do we? Sorry, I lost track of the schedule. 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Go to sleep. Cocotype was streaming, or not Cocotype. I'm Cocotype. Compile Dev was streaming at 1 a.m. his time last night. I'm throwing stuff around again? What was I throwing around? I wasn't throwing anything. Compile type. Yes, exactly. The long lost brother of monotype. Remember monotype? Oh, my code is throwing. Oh, it's too late, y'all. Your boy needs to go get some dinner. You unlocked an emote. Okay, let's try this. Let's see if this gets us anywhere. Regardless of where it gets us. Yeah, it didn't get us anywhere. Let's say regardless of where it gets us, I think I'm going to have to sign off, and we're going to say I need to do more research before I do any more of this, because I don't understand what's going on. You got to work now? Yeah, I think I also... Well, I have to stop working now. Apple's UI design is... That's awesome, Mono. Apple's UI design is possibly the most beautiful UI. Yeah, Apple's pretty good at this UI stuff. They're pretty good at that. All right, well, I am utterly and completely lost as to how to play back this stuff. So that's a problem. But, yeah, I think that'll be what we work on next stream. When is the next stream? Who knows? We'll find out. At the very latest, it'll be Friday. At the very earliest, it'll be like 3 hours from now. It's a surprise. Give me a follow and you'll find out. It'll be announced. You get the thing. Go get Mono's app, which I don't think that people can get. But you should do it anyway. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Have a great week. Have a great whatever period of time until I see you next. And have a good time. See ya.